All right. Good music to bring these two into. Okay. Peter Bampton, Jack Bampton, Jeffrey Pistola, myself Goldie, Rob's on the couch, but he'll chip in from the wing. And we're ready to roll. Got to plug in the microphone. Yes. Good work.
Well done. Seconds.
How's that?
Right. Man, a good balance, see?
Look at that, perfect on the Sharon. All right. Yes. Alrighty, we're ready to deliver it now. Hills Football League Division 1 A grade grand final and all the other grand finals this Saturday at Cuba Logistics Oval in Nan, and it all starts at 8:30am in the morning. We'll go through those games shortly, but in the meantime, we've got the great pleasure here of joined by two of Lobethal Tigers' most important players and their brothers as well. We've got Peter Bampton, Jack Bampton, Pistols, of course, myself, Goldie, Rob's on the couch, and let's get straight into it, Pistols. Great to have the two here.
Yeah, boys, thanks for coming in, and well, how's the nerves? Because it's not just any ordinary game this week. Obviously, it's for the grand final premiership glory. So, how are you feeling at the moment? Had a run last night, tonight being Wednesday. So, how did it all go?
Yeah, feeling good. Had a good run last night. It was a bit more of a spring weather night last night, so we had plenty of numbers on the track. I think we had nearly 90% of the senior playing group out. We had about 40 players out, so everyone thinks they're in for a chance.
Yeah,
they're all in with a chance. So it's been really good. Lots of buy-in from the guys. So yeah, they're all out last night, and bit of nerves there, and we sort of spoke about that a bit last night. Actually, Griggy sort of spoke out the front and said, nerves are a good thing, and we're all getting ready, and can't wait for Saturday.
Well, as a previous guest here on the Huddle, Chris Kendall, was giving his SANFL review, and he mentioned about the Nord input at the Tigers at the moment, and of course, obviously the experience of some of these guys having played in a few grand finals, or at least finals levels down the SANFL. So, Giorgio, yourself, they said Griggy, so, younger blokes will be looking for that experience to help them through.
Yeah, definitely. I think having blokes like Griggy, Giorgio, Fuller, even Aiden playing for Sturt as well, they've just been around for that amount of time that they actually just know what it feels like and what's normal. So
we've got, and those guys have played, probably 400 plus games of league footy, and I think between them there's about 50 AFL games as well. So there's a fair bit of high level experience that hopefully that will help us on the weekend.
So second grand final in 3 years, of course, against Harndorf again. Matt Fuller, who you mentioned, was coach back then, because Aidan Riley, the big dog, first year. How do you compare them as coaches? Are they similar, or just any differences they have? Because they've both obviously got you to grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's been a really smooth transition really between the two. I mean, they're both very modern sort of coaches. very much that the very similar sort of game plan and way of talking to the guys, and quite, I guess, laid back when they need to, and then when we need a bit of a rocket, they're prepared to give it. But I think Aiden this year, he's got a really switched on football mind, and he's really brought some different sort of game plan styles, and prepared to sort of switch things up quite quickly sort of throughout the game when we needed. And I think that's been really good, and throughout the whole pre-season as well, he was training us in the way that we want to play footy on Saturdays, and I think that's been probably our Achilles heel. I think for most of the year, that we've sort of tried to be pretty consistent all the way through, and I think that sort of comes back to how we went in the pre-season.
Hey, you've had a bit of a fluctuating final series, because we'll go back to the qualifying final. We had Mount Barker virtually on toast, but they rocketed home and got within 10 points of you. Then the second semi, the reverse, you rallied home and just fell short by 5 points. And then last week you just led from the start and really put the game away in the first quarter. So just a bit of consistency for that. You're building up to a 4-quarter performance, perhaps, Pete.
Yeah, well, I think that's obviously the ideal scenario, but really, I think as what we've spoken about, is starting well obviously really helps, and then being able to maintain it from there. So yeah, we'll see on the weekend what unfolds.
Hey, Peter, I head down to. Just happen to have this on hand here.
One ain't prepared.
Head down to pre-season training. Obviously, when Mitch and yourself were unearthed, and James Braidwood and a few other guys. 94 league matches for Norwood.
Yep.
Is that right? Leading goal kicker as well.
Yep.
You played under 12, under 16, under 18 state footy.
Yep.
There since age 15. You're only 26 now. Is that right?
Yeah,
so
correct,
yeah, just tell us about. To start with, Pete,
Yep.
just your time at Norwood and reasons for coming home besides the great man here.
Yeah, well, that's it. Definitely a major input. But so started down there, sort of playing, senior footy when I was sort of 15, 16. Sort of debuted at 16, and then just sort of hung around. Went through all the eras of the premierships and stuff. Obviously, didn't get to play in any of those, but missed out on the 2018 one. Obviously losing that one, and then really just got to the point where things just changed, and I just sort of started growing up. I was building a place at Bridgewater and decided, it's probably a good time to call it, try to play with Jack, because obviously I'm not sure how much longer he can play for, but so I thought now's a good time.
Hey, given 6 years between you until this year, had you actually played footy together?
No,
we hadn't.
No.
And I think it was funny. I was thinking about it today. There was like this one time, I reckon, when we were about, I reckon Peter was 14 and I was like 20, and we were doing some pre-season sort of running it just together at home, and like we had a race into Lobethal Oval, like from the farm, and I remember, like, I reckon Pete beat me by about 5 minutes, and he was 14 and I was 20, and I was like, I reckon he's got the athletic, he's got the athletic ability. I think he's going to go okay. So he did well down there, and love watching him play, and obviously watching other Lobie boys down there. There's a real good connection that we've had. So it's been really good.
And tennis as well. Very good tennis player.
Yeah, played for a little while. Yeah,
where was
obviously that? Just at Lobethal. I played down a little bit down at Trinity as well, but obviously footy starts taking over a bit too much when you're sort of at that age, and pre-season starts in basically November.
Is that something now, Pete, that you'd like to get back into, dominate the baseline like our man used to in the days?
Yeah, I think I'd probably be a bit more of a social player now. I don't think I'm
As a baseline, you'd be able to tell us. It's a thing of conjecture on the Huddle. Is the baseline, and next time you have it here, have a look.
Yeah.
The baseline is thicker and wider than the sideline. Did you know that? A little known fact.
Well,
In fact,
Rob's chipped in from the wing.
I can substantiate it again, because US Open last week, that overhead camera,
You were
and I
watching it?
looked specifically at that, and you can actually see the baseline is
good pick
thicker.
up.
I can only go from what we've got. We've actually got a tennis court at the farm, and
here we go. There we go. Talk yourself up.
And Dad used the same width lines for the tram lines as he did for the baseline.
That's an issue.
No difference.
You've got to redo them.
Yeah, well, there you go.
What
we might
about
be playing a bit shorter at court then.
talk about
Half
Pete?
court.
Yourself, Jack. Tell us about your journey, because same Norwood as well, but started Moddies at Lobie.
That's it. Yeah, played obviously Lobethal all my juniors, and headed down to Norwood, at sort of 15, and went through the under 17s program with Dave Odie, and then sort of progressed into the under 19s, and played a season of reserves, and then came back up the hill to Lobethal. So and been up at Lobethal ever since. Coming back, it was a bit of a era of not many wins. I think in one of the first seasons I came back, we were fighting. I think the last game of the year, I think we had to beat Ironbank to avoid relegation to Division 2 at that point in time. So, it's quite a contrast now to I guess the last few years. Obviously bringing a few players back and bringing some players in too makes a big difference. But it's been a 10, 12 years up at Lobethal, and it's been really good. Love it.
Now, Jack, I can remember as a coach, the Devils under 10 side, and we'd be playing against Logie, which your dad was coaching, Andrew, and I think actually Leedswood might have been the home game for a couple of games out there. And as your career progressed, when did you realise that you weren't going to carry through in your career as a ruckman? As you were in under 10s?
Same as me.
Yeah.
In under 10s?
I don't know,
I was a ruckman.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's feed pearls.
There's a photo of me. Yeah, I was rucking. And it's a good thing to do.
Anyone can do it. No, I think I think once I progressed to the ages of tackling, I think it was then sort of understood that probably not going to get a spot in the circle, and but that's
not as a ruckman.
Not as a ruckman. Yeah.
In and under, you do pretty well.
You've won an underage medal though in the Hills Football League.
Junior Colts.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, Junior Colts medal.
Peter? Or that's right. Yeah.
And as we said, the Spider once again mentioned earlier. You won one of the last McCullum medals, which is the old under 17 medal. Is that right?
Yes, in 2006. So a few years ago now. But lucky enough to win that. I think that might have been my.
Nord, you look at some of the names of. One that I think Neil Craig, maybe Gary McIntosh, these sort of guys. So.
I think I think you're right, and but I think perhaps the peak of my football highlights was the McCullum medal, but hey, that was it was very good. I had a great time down at Norwood. Had great coach. Dave Odie was really good, and obviously playing with guys like Matt Fuller and Tim Jenkin, Alex Giorgio. Ben Jeffries over at Onkers now, and it was we just had a really good group of guys, and really good fun.
You've hired a few buses for Saturday, I see, on the social medias. How big will this be if you can get over the line? Because 20 years, Pistol's talking to Dubby Fechner at the Hall of Fame, and he says you're cherry ripe, ready to go. This is got to get over the line first, but it's going to be a big day.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think you wouldn't want to be in any surrounding towns, that's for sure.
I think the boys are pretty keen. Mitch Weeks is he's fired up. He's really
he's got the day off from baby.
I think he's
is he going to come dressed as a tiger or something?
He's cleared the schedule for the next week, I think. So he's keen. But obviously we've got to go in and get the job done first Saturday. But for a small town like Lobethal, and very much a really big sporting team and a sporting sort of town, I guess. The netballers last week unfortunately went down, but the town was behind them, and I think same with us. The town's behind us, and hopefully hopefully we can get the result and have a really good time with everyone. And it's been a long time since we've won the last one. 20 years. So I was at the 2002 and
12 years old. What do you remember of that?
I remember. The famous Jason King incident.
Yes.
So I think
King said
he might.
Earlier in the year he had a reunion. One of the games he said he was actually asked to leave that early as well.
Yeah. He's obviously King's an absolute Lobethal legend, and I remember him getting red carded in that game and thinking, oh no, we're done now.
Yeah.
But it seemed to sort of spark everyone else up, and having guys around like Dickie Kleeman still,
and you got
Randall
the
Weeks and
Russ Carter. I got it right.
Yeah, cool. It was a Mitch Carter,
yes.
Russell Carter.
Yeah, so big Mitch is he's fired up. But that connection's been quite cool too, to have Mitch obviously come up and have his old man as a past A grade premiership player has been really good.
Now the Squid, he's taken over leadership this year because Alex Georgia. How's he performed? Because obviously the experience, but obviously you've had a lot to do with him there.
Yeah. I've obviously been under Alex quite a bit as he was vice captain a fair bit through the Nord era. So I find Alex is great. He always knows what to say and knows how to sort of pull people into line, when to be harsh and sort of when to sort of maybe just back off and leave him a little bit. So I've found the way and the way he goes about it as well, the way he plays and
would you be entrusting the squid with the Mad Monday organisation?
Yeah, no, I definitely would. Yeah, no, he's that is something that he's very good at.
Just explaining each other how So Peter, just tell us a little bit about Jack and how he plays and what you admire about the way he goes about it. Not just now, but growing up and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've always just found whenever I've watched Jack play is that there's probably not really anybody else out in the field that will go in as hard as Jack. Like really, that's what makes him different to everyone else. Like he has a crack no matter what, no matter who it is, he'll be in and under having a go. So yeah, and I've always found that he's quite smart as well when he does get the ball. He always tries to do the right thing and tries to give it to the runners going past and things like that, which is good.
I saw him do a smart thing at Heathfield Oval last week. Did the helmet slip over the eyes or your colourful? Straight down the throat of Lockie Schultz. Terminator.
I know. No, I think I'm putting that back to I was actually in Canberra last week for a work conference and missed Thursday night training, so. I think not just miss out on having my kicks that I normally would, and
maybe some jet lag too.
Yeah, but that was an absolute stinker. So hopefully no more of those.
Out, weren't you, mate?
Wow, I didn't. It was definitely not by purpose. That was a shocker.
What about Peter, Jack?
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved seeing Pete. He goes really hard too, and I think he just works really hard. Running back and forth all game. Great tackler, but also I think he's always been a team first player. So he's always one to give the handball out or take a hit for to sort of support the team or block a teammate. So that's always been really good. And I think his goal kicking's actually been quite impressive at times too. So. When he was down at Nord, it was really good to see him have a year where he got some accolades and won the leading goal kicker as a mid-sized sort of forward, which doesn't normally happen. But that's always been something I've admired from him.
Hey, we talked about the 2020 grand final. You went in that perhaps with the expectation, the fact that you're the ones that knocked over Harndorf. This group now. Because you hadn't played finals for a long time, that particular group. Now you've had that experience. You've had the experience of a couple of final series now. So is it a bit different going into this game where that one you were the first in? Obviously, we're beating Harndorf, so not saying you approached it like that. But this time around, it's not the expectation for you guys. You know what I mean? You've more in the head what you got to do.
Yeah, I think it's probably at least now knowing. What it takes,
sure.
like it's I mean, you can have things sort of all go your way and then it can still not come off. And I think this time at least, the guys are going to know that it is as much of the cliche is, it is 4 quarters of hard, tough finals footy.
And in every game this year, because we've did 2 of them on the quarter world, you've been in a position to actually beat Harndorf.
Yeah,
and that showed why they are a champion side because they're just
all of the games really, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we know that they know how know how to win. They find a way to win, and they've got probably a lot of confidence as well in their ability and the guys around them. And that's why they've been a great team for so long. They don't just rely on a couple; they rely on everyone, and everyone performs. So look, we know that's going to be. That's going to be tough. I don't think the expectations are any different. I don't think we're coming into it with a different mindset or anything like that. I mean, we trust that the way we play is good enough to win. So it's just about executing. So yeah, hopefully that, the first contest from Saturday will sort of know, we're ready to go, and we can show it from there. But finals is one of those things where opportunities come up all the time. There's swings throughout the game, and we know Huddle aren't. They're going to go hard, so they're going to have momentum. We're going to have momentum, but
those two losses later in the season, Mount Lofty and Nan, did you find those a bit of a reality check for the side?
A little bit. I think that sort of some blokes were probably...
Because you were locked in your position, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. So, not that we were coasting through, but I think a lot of blokes were just hoping things would happen. So, I think that sort of kicked us into gear a bit. And coming into, even Mount Barker or Euralia on the weekend especially, that was sort of a really good feeling being out there and all the players sort of going, nah, this is what we have to do. We've got to start really well. We've got to really go at them. And it just shows with the performance and how we played.
How do you both like to prepare? And will the grand final change? Yeah.
I think grand final, no matter where you play, it's always different. I mean, it can never be like a regular game because it always is. There's always more time between the B grade and things like that. So I think you just prepare as best as you can. You try to not get too nervous, but just do what you can do.
Do you have a way that you like to prepare? I think Sam Hanna last week, he enjoyed the Friday night. What was it? The chocolate biscuits.
Oh yes, the chocolate
and
biscuits.
A hot cup of tea or something like that. Went to the Setton Market on a Saturday morning. Do you have any sort of? Do you like to play Scrabble on a Friday night or any of that sort of whatever, or listen to music or?
Yeah, usually I'm just a pastor on Friday night type operator. So that's just every Friday night before a game or every night before any game. Yeah,
pastor.
Yeah.
Jack?
Yeah, I'm Celeste and I, we have a steak on Friday nights, and then Saturday mornings, usually get up, take the dogs for a walk, and then sort of ease into a bit of downtime, I guess, before before making the drive up the hill to the footy. So yeah.
Hey Pizzle, just quick. I remember during COVID when we had no football, and I was driving around north.
Oh yeah, that's right, Glenburn Road.
Glenburn Road, and there was Jack pounding the pavement, keeping fit. How difficult was that period for both of you? You were SNFL then, and just during that period to keep yourself motivated, because you were obviously getting some K's in the legs at that day. Timmy Jenkins played a role with the fitness and stuff.
That's right. No, it was really good. Like, we set up I think like a lot of other clubs, like we set up a group on the app Strava, so we were tracking each other's runs, and Timmy, being a personal trainer, gave us a program to run to. So I mean, I'm pretty motivated, with my fitness anyway. So I found it fine. I was doing some Ks, but it's different, running, just going for a run and then comparing that to obviously, playing footy, different sort of exercise, and it took a little while to get back into it once we started that later season, but I think we did pretty good, and it was good to just track each other and watch each other through that app.
A couple of questions we always ask our studio guests. No one's watching, so can't embarrass anyone.
Oh, that's all right.
I'll check in a sec.
This guy, he's got a bit of a reputation, but so who's the tightest bloke in your team?
Oh,
with the pockets.
By a round, or the pest, or who would it be?
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, Timmy Jenkins is pretty tight.
Turned it on him. There you go.
I don't know if that's the one. I don't know if that was the one you were referring to. No. Actually, you know what? It might be me. I might be a bit of a tight ass too.
Yes, alluding to a guy who's actually a bit of a tight defender as well.
Ah,
the sheriff.
Is it the sheriff? Well, I don't know whether.
Timmy. So Timmy's actually telling the story. It's actually Timmy Longpockets, eh?
Yeah, he won't like me saying that, but Reece, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think Sheriff's actually he's happy to spend money. That's for sure. He turns up, I reckon, every week with a new pair of shoes or new clothes. It's like...
The issue with Reece is so we've got James Elliott, known as Reese or the Sheriff.
Wow, few alter egos.
So, well, I don't know. I think he's just made up some nicknames that have just stuck. But yeah, he's a serial teammate for getting any sort of kit for the game.
His gear
Every week.
Got to get that right.
Pair of shorts, or brings the wrong coloured shorts. Socks. Guernsey. He's left his Guernsey home.
Wow, that's an issue.
He's a funny guy, Reese. We love him. He's been like a brother to us. We joke that he's our third brother. But he's not the best with his gear.
Well, hopefully he brings it all on Saturday.
Oh, I'm sure they'll bring spares for him. Yeah, they know what he's like.
Yeah, I think Andy Huxter's saved his bacon a few times now.
Hey, we've been amazed at, and we love because we loved the mullets last year, but our man from Leeds with Jack Stafford. But
that's a real shame.
Unlike Sampson, he hasn't lost his streak because he's still playing some pretty good football. But also the Ben Pring, who was very much easy to pick out on the ground when you're commentating, which you've done a bit with us in the past. He's got.
Yeah, he has.
Phone's ringing. Someone's not watching.
Oh, there you go. He dyed the hair blonde this year. He had a pretty good sort of buzzed.
Sorry, everyone. Just if someone called them. Continuing on.
Buzz sort of faded.
Well,
Haircut.
then Timmy Jenkins ringing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
All good.
hopefully
We're
not.
right.
I got my phone off. So he's one to sort of rock a few different cuts, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Even Jim Braidwood, he's got a bit of a.
I was going to say,
actually, he's a Lenswood
I was just about
connection
to
as
say,
well.
like
One of our favourites.
losing Brady Dorr, but getting Big Jimbo, and also Jacob Collins coming.
Oh,
this year.
yeah.
And,
Well,
I just met about Joshy Sewer, Zip Zap as we've dubbed him. So
Zips up. Yeah, he's been around the club a few years now, played mainly B grade this year, but he's just got some X factor about him, and like you said, the Zip Zap he's quite sort of fleet, fast on his feet, and it has a jump, and just one of those sort of guys that can sort of bob up and be quite dangerous. So Aiden sort of rolled the dice, I guess, a bit with him, and he's done really well. So hopefully, again, like everyone in our team, on Saturday, just come in and play your role is the mantra really. So if he can do that, and 20 other blokes do, we'll go a long way.
And Matty Scroby, the YouTube specialist, tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, he's pretty funny younger years, I reckon, on the YouTube, but he seems sort of
Matured a bit.
He's got a girlfriend now as well. I think that's really settled him down, because he was turning into the probably one of the loosest cannons at the footy club, but he's settled down. He's he's a plumber, and good fella, Scrobes. But you're right. He was a YouTube star.
Still some of his work on there.
Scrobe Tree. Yeah, he's.
Give it a plug.
give it a plug. Yeah, he'll really enjoy
Well, I tell you
that.
what, if you get up, it's
We might start
mind-boggling
again.
what might happen.
Oh, far out. Yeah, he'll hate us talking about that, because he hates it, but it's probably one of the funniest things. Yeah.
What about for yourselves outside of football, work wise and hobby wise?
So I'm a apprentice electrician.
Give yourself a plug.
For Impact Electrical. It's actually Matt Prowse, who plays for Onkers.
Yes,
the other
Prowse,
Onkers boys all
of
work
course.
there. So I'm doing my apprenticeship there at the moment, and really, spent the majority of my past year probably building my house. So
In Bridgie?
Yep.
Any thoughts of going there?
Wouldn't have thought. No.
Okay.
You don't have to dwell on it.
Jack?
I sort of work in finance and accounting in the government, so working at the South Australian Government Financing Authority at the moment.
Good in the money?
Well, hopefully. But
right. So
bank
Give me
counter.
my bank account. I'll draft it, yeah?
if I find it, I'll help you. But it's No, so yeah, been there sort of a few months, but yeah, been in government for quite a while now, in different roles, and I guess away from footy, just like I do a bit of surfing. I haven't done a bit recently just because I'm trying to keep the body right for footy, but yeah, keeping fit, so going to the gym, going for a run, and a bit of bike riding and stuff. So.
Hey, speaking of which, because you've both been unfortunate enough to have a bit of shoulder problems, haven't you, over the journey?
I've been alright, but yeah.
Yeah, I've had a shoulder recon, but ankles with both. I've had a syndesmosis, so I've done that. And
I had a recon as well.
Because that kept you out of the game for a while. So you said you came and helped us on the call a while, but you're out for what, 18 months or something?
Yeah, it was quite a while. Yeah, it was a pretty bad one, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I pick up some strange injuries, so hopefully no more.
Because we had Simon Holm on the other week, one of our helmeted guys.
Simo,
Sam Hanna,
good fella, Simo.
Sam Hanna.
Yeah.
So just tell us the
Troy
origin.
Parker Boys.
Just tell us the origin of your helmet.
Yeah, I had a bit of a bad head knock a couple of years ago, and I just thought I'd give it a go, and I mean, the research sort of says that it doesn't necessarily save you from concussion, but my thought was my thought was that if I get one knock that with wearing a helmet that it reduces the impact on me, then then it's worth it, maybe try and pick up some umpire votes.
Yeah, fair enough.
And as you said, growing up and then travelling down just to Nord and just to support, of course, your late great mum, Karen, and then also Andrew, your dad, just their influence and assistance throughout your careers must be something that you cherish.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's been huge. I think, I used to catch a bus down from school in Mount Barker and go down to training after school, and then Dad would usually pick me up after the fire brigade after he's done day shift, or Mum would have to come on down and pick me up. And I was also pretty fortunate enough to get a lift with Ben Jeffrey, Ed Smart,
Lockie Peter,
Lockie Peter, like Andrew Kerwin. I sort of got in with them because
there was a bus, wasn't there? Like
the party bus, yeah. So. Fortunate to have those guys, but obviously, couldn't have done it without Mum and Dad picking us up all the time.
Yeah, they did a lot, and I mean, Mum, never missed either my or Peter's game, so she was always at one of them. Bit upsetting that she's not around to watch us, because just seeing us play together would have been awesome this year. She would have loved that. So. But and Dad's been great support. He's always been there, and he's always happy to sort of get on the
microphone
out the window of the car, and
he's an unofficial member of the Cornwall team. He's the goal kicking animal.
Yeah. Oh, exactly, and so supportive, and always done whatever he can for us. So we owe a lot to Mum and Dad being able to take us around and feed us.
Hey, as you said, you mentioned Onkers, so obviously it happens when you play Onkers, but also last week, going against Charade, I just noticed it's like old home week for Nord footballers, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, with Dean Turlick and Big Gus out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Even Roland
Archie. Thomas,
Oh, yeah, Tomo
as well, that's true, So they played with all of them, which is very weird. So you're running around next to them.
Now, both of your time at Nord, you just thoroughly enjoyed it, and obviously you had that desire to sort of try and do the best you could at a higher level. So you'd encourage anyone gets 100%. A chance to go down there.
Yeah, definitely. Whether that's Nord or Sturt, I think that they're both excellent clubs. So.
And influences as coaches for both of you?
Yeah,
that career?
Yeah, exactly. I think I mentioned David Odie. He was really good, and I think he's still down at Sturt underage now. And I mean, it just it's just great to run around with guys that are equally passionate about footy and have that desire, I guess, to play the best they can, and it makes you better, and you get the opportunity to play with really good footballers and develop with really good coaches as well. So it's been that's been really good for both of us, I think.
All right, let's we'll give it a few more minutes. This is longest episode since Simon Holm.
Oh.
That was good. Let's just, not quickly, but just mention last Saturday was a classic grand final. Brady Dorr almost single-handedly got Meadows over the line in that last quarter, but Gumaraka 6-11 defeating Meadows 6-8, so 3-point game there with Cam Redden taking the last mark of the match, about 20 metres out from Meadows' goal.
At the end there.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
In the reserves, Rob will be happy with this. Ironbank defeated Kangarilla 9-8 to 5-3. Just relaxing over there. In the mini Colts, Harndorf defeated Kersbrook 8-15 to 2-2. So James Taylor, Jaden Ray, is it? Adam?
Yeah, young fella.
Yep. And I called him Adam. You're Rob. And Dylan Camber for Harndorf. So this week, Pistols.
Just give us your
of the day.
Of the day, yeah. Synopsis of the day.
Oh,
good crowd there. It just looked like.
Have you ever been to a Country Division A grand final day?
I have.
I love the atmosphere.
Yeah, we went to one. I've been to one at Kersbrook before. Actually, I've been to a couple, but yeah, Kersbrook.
It's a unique
really
vibe.
Yeah, and where was it? This is Macclesfield.
I love it. Check out the Call of the Wild page. Ozzy got some aerial shots and it's fantastic atmosphere. Pistols and good day out. Always is.
Good footy.
Good footy. It's a unique style. It's great. Good. And then of course Lobethal in Div 1 preliminary final defeated Uradla Districts 12-13 to 7-8. 6-goal 2 to 1 point first quarter, which sets up this Saturday. Don't mind me here. So we start off with the mini Colts. We got under 14 mini Colts 8:30 a.m. Blackwood versus Harndorf. Under 16 should be a good game. Well, all of them should. Blackwood versus Onka Valley. Under 18s, kind of traditional rivals in this format. Blackwood versus Mount Lofty. B grade should be a cracker. Harndorf versus Mount Lofty, and then the A grade game at 2:30. Of course, is Lobethal up against Harndorf with Scott Perling playing his 250th. So that's not a bad milestone to bring up, and they're looking for number 7. So, what are your thoughts? Yeah, of course, a stupid question, but
just your thoughts on the venue. Playing at Nan?
Yeah, well, obviously that during the year was the first time I've ever actually played at Nan. So yeah, no, it was interesting playing there. I reckon the Oval will actually hold up quite well. Hopefully with this rain, I think.
No, it's not too bad.
I was surprised at Mount Lofty as well on the weekend. That was actually held up quite good.
Reasonably well, didn't it? Yeah. No, it's the same. Like I haven't played much at Nan, but I think it'll be interesting to see how the atmosphere goes. If we hopefully the weather stays clear and we can get that sort of hill.
That's the plan. They're going to block the cars off and everyone.
In the paddock.
Similar to the grassy knoll, the King Wing at Lobethal.
You can't beat it, but yeah.
No, the Euros vans will be going off.
Yeah.
We can't partake in that, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I think it'll be really good. And I mean, I think like Nana, they take things, professional. They're real professionals. I think over there, they really take it seriously. So expect it to sort of go pretty smooth. I reckon.
Honestly, boys, without giving any trade secrets away, what do you have to do to beat them? What have you gained, as we talked before, what have you gained over the meetings through this year where you've been really in positions to win? But what are you going to do that little bit better this week?
I think we just got to start well and really go at them. We can't be waiting for somebody else to do it. We've got to be the ones that.
But in that second semi though, Pete, you did display the fact that you can play very good catch-up football. In fact,
definitely.
We had our chances really. So, but no, like starting well. I think do the work early and we'll see. See how we go, but. I think that's probably something that even at Harndorf, for the Career Cup game, I think we let them get the jump on us early, and it's hard to play catch up, particularly in finals footy. So we'll I think really, I mean I'm sure they're going to come out equally as hard as probably a bit of a funny comment.
Go for their 5th flag in a row, so they know what it's all about on the big day. Yeah. Hey, as you said, you haven't played together a lot, if ever. Premierships.
No,
any before?
No, not football. We played in an under 14s grand final back in the day at Lobethal, but we lost to Mount Barker. So no, and then obviously 2020 we went down to Harndorf by less than a couple kicks. So no, few and far between for me. It's been a lot of missed finals periods. So it's really good to actually
any
be
good
playing.
self, Pete?
I played in a under-17 one against Blackwood that we lost at Harndorf. I reckon I was probably about 15. We lost that one, and then the 2018 one against North Adelaide, obviously lost that.
So no underage ones?
Nah, never won one. So.
Wow,
No.
so will be a big time in the Bampton household.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the Valley of Praise
Well, the whole area.
itself, I tell you what, even Timmy
Lenswood,
Timmy Jenkins might put his hand in his pocket to get up. Eh?
Hopefully.
All right, boys. Well, thanks for coming in.
Terrific.
It's a unique situation. I think Benny mentioned this week about the amount of siblings who are actually playing this grand final, because a few for Harndorf
Yes.
and also a few blokes out there. So could be a big old time, eh?
Yeah, definitely. No, thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So all the best, boys, and also to all the Harndorf people, all the teams. Actually
I'll just see
playing
if there's
on
any comments on the feed as we cross out. But no, that's. I'll just cross off here and then.
Yep.
Oh, actually, hang on a sec.
Hang on, we'll just,
Keep going.
He's just going to do his
So I
thing.
expect tomorrow night the final training, the whole of the Valley of Praise will be there, and the chicken barbecue might be going, the poke chimney might be going.
How good. Nah, we'll definitely have. There'll definitely be dinners, and I think there'll be a fair contingent down there. And
Got our most views for the year.
actually, Alex was telling a story last night where in 2004 when we played in our under 14s grand final. On Thursday night, we had a barbecue. They were cooking sausages and stuff for us kids to have. And Alex said he walked up to the barbecue, and Jason King was on the barbecue, on the tongs, and dropped the sausage in the fat, and it spilt all over his arm.
No.
So,
Over Alex.
over Alex's arm. So as a 14-year-old, he had all these blisters and stuff, and played the game with all wrapped up like a mummy.
Jason King.
Jason
So
King.
a red card in 2002 and
dropped sausage
burning
on
the
2004. Alex has gone on to do some wonderful things, but
I suggest keep Kingy away from the barbecue tomorrow night.
Great stuff. Thanks, lads. Thanks
As I
very
said,
much for joining us.
Fantastic for joining us. All the best, mate.
No,
and
thank you
to
very
you,
much.
Jack, one of our favourites. So all the best to the Tigers and the Magpies, as I said, every other.
Thank you, Rob.
All the other teams in the grades. Thank you, Rob.
Boys, good
Huddle
interview.
reformed. We better reform.
Head to the Adelaide Oval on Sunday, Rob.
And Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thanks for watching us. Catch you next week. Keep chasing those goals.
Yeah. And tune in on Saturday for the call. See ya. Alrighty, we'll just close off the stream.
I couldn't tell how I'm probably yelling.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, thanks very much for watching.